My daughter nearly killed her brother, and I wish she'd done it sooner. My 13-year-old daughter Heidi sent her brother Jace to the hospital with a fractured skull. I didn't believe the nurse when she first told me over the phone. Heidi and Jace had always been close. Since their dad died 3 years ago, Jace basically became the man of the house, and I trusted him to look after his younger sister. He drove her to school, helped with homework, stayed home with her when I worked late shifts at the firm. When I arrived, I found Heidi sitting in the hospital waiting room with a police officer nearby. Her school uniform was splattered with blood, her knuckles were raw, her face was stone, but she wasn't crying. She wasn't even shaking. Heidi, my God, what happened? I asked, rushing to her. He had it coming, Mom. Her voice was flat, emotionless. The officer, Detective Fords, approached with his notepad. Ma'am, your daughter attacked your son with a baseball bat in the school parking lot. Multiple witnesses saw her wait by his car, then strike him repeatedly when he approached. This was premeditated assault. I was shaking and could feel myself about to pass out, but Heidi was fine. Heidi, you need to tell me what happened, I said, gripping her shoulders. Why would you do this to Jace? She looked at me with hollow eyes. Because you wouldn't have believed me. Believed what? She turned to Detective Fords. Are you recording this? He nodded, confused by her sudden cooperation. Heidi's voice was steady. 3 years. Mom, it's been 3 years since Dad died and you started working nights. 3 years since Jace started coming into my room after you left for your evening shifts. My heart stopped. At first, he said he was just checking on me, making sure I was okay. Then he started sitting on my bed, telling me how pretty I was getting, how I reminded him of the girls at his school. Heidi's hands clenched and unclenched. I told him to stop. He said no one would believe me. The golden boy versus the troubled sister who was failing math and getting detention. Detective Fords had stopped writing. His expression had changed into one of disgust and rage. Heidi, why didn't you tell me? My voice cracked. You want to know why I didn't tell you? Her voice rose for the first time. Remember when I started sleeping on the couch? You told me to stop being difficult and go back to my room. Remember when I put a lock on my door? You made Jace remove it because it was a fire hazard. Remember when I asked if I could stay at Aunt Lauren's on the nights you worked? You said I was being ungrateful, that Jace was sacrificing his senior year social life to watch me. I felt sick. Every memory was changing, reorganizing into something horrifying. Heidi continued, her voice dropping back to that terrible monotone. He'd wait until he heard your car leave, then he'd come in. At first, he'd just lie next to me, tell me this was normal, that all brothers and sisters who really loved each other did this. Then it got worse. He'd touch me, make me touch him, tell me this was practice for when I got a boyfriend, that he was teaching me. Detective Fords cleared his throat. Heidi, I need to call a special victims detective. Is that okay? She nodded, then looked back at me. Last week, he said now that he was 18, we could be together for real, that he'd been patient long enough, that tonight, while you were at work, he was done waiting. He was going to make me his girlfriend whether I wanted it or not. I couldn't breathe. All those nights, all those times she'd called me at work, begging me to come home early. The way she'd started wearing baggy clothes, even in summer. The way she'd flinch when Jace put his arm around her for family photos. I took pictures, Heidi said quietly, of the bruises on my arms where he'd grab me. I recorded him on my phone when he came into my room. It's all in my backpack in my locker. I was going to turn it all in today, but then in the parking lot, he grabbed me. He said if I showed anyone that evidence, he'd tell everyone I was crazy, that I'd edited the recordings, that everyone would believe him, because everyone always believes him. She looked up at me, and for the first time, tears started falling. So I picked up the bat from the gym equipment they were loading, and I kept swinging until I couldn't anymore. Detective Ford spoke into his radio, requesting a female officer and a different kind of investigation team. He stepped away to give us a moment. Heidi, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I pulled her against me, and she finally broke down sobbing. 2 months later, Heidi finished her testimony via video link for Jace's trial. The prosecutor had found everything she'd hidden. Jace pled guilty to avoid trial, and Heidi started therapy. I'll never forgive myself for letting this happen.